definitely seen, that I was going through some stuff. You know what I mean, with my label that I had signed to, and scooped me right on up. And he played a big role in teaching me how to be a CEO and teaching me how to run a great business. And you gotta do exactly what I'm doing. Package these things up yourself and all that good stuff. But when you got people throwing glitches in the middle, just for fame, it becomes a little difficult. But at the same time, you just press on. And that was the main reason why 5 years went by, and I was just like trying to figure out why it took one of my best friends on my birthday. But it doesn't hurt me any longer. Like in the way right now, it's just all about making sure that I just continue to reach my goals and count my blessings and stay as free as possible without going to jail or falling suit to the devil's tactics. And that's just every day. We're all going through a spiritual battle, but at the same time, we gotta understand that nobody's perfect and everyone is worth it. So if you see someone out there that's trying to do well, and you have a secret that you don't want to tell, don't try to put the motherfucker in jail.
Not to cut you off. Yeah, not to cut you off, but to finish the question I was asking about the popularity thing, I was going to add and say that in recent time you've resurged back your popularity. Like you're all over social media, you're this and that, and I was wondering, was that strategic? Was that on accident? Like, why do you think out of nowhere?
It was definitely strategically planned. Like I told you in my Vlad video and then all that good stuff. And there was a plan given to me when I was locked up and incarcerated, and I definitely, like I keep saying, I sacrificed what I needed to sacrifice towards the Lord, and did exactly what He needed me to do in order for me to obtain the blessings that I have now, and all I can do is just make sure that I keep them and cherish them, and put in that position again.
Well, I'll be remiss not to talk about your Instagram. Your Instagram is possibly one of the greatest things to hit the internet in the last 5 years. You post some of the most funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And when I went to Kanye Tiller, shot at Kanye Tiller, and asked him, "Hey, what do you guys want answered by him?" The most question was, "Have you always been like this on Instagram, or is this influence of some type of drugs?" They wanted to know.
I've always been this person. I've always been able to balance my personality. I've always been able to differentiate, when the cameras are on and when the cameras are off. But the thing is, I figured out how to play each character in my life. So therefore, majorly, I'm taking care of Mr. Brown. When it comes down to being the PR, I'm taking care of Mr. Brown. When it comes down to being a CEO, I'm taking care of Mr. Brown. And when it comes down to being a personal assistant, I'm definitely taking care of Mr. Brown. And when it comes down to everything else, I'm taking care of Mr. Brown. A lot of people don't understand that it's very essential that you put yourself first in order to take care of others. And like Kevin Hart wouldn't be the great Kevin Hart if he didn't have a team of people willing to sacrifice their time and really understand what the golden goose really means in order to flourish and succeed and their futures are now. So right about now, I just said fuck a team. And like I said, I'm not perfect, but at the same time, I did come to the Lord as I was, and He accepted me just because. So that's really where I'm getting all my power from. That's why a lot of this is spreading like wildfire, because of the simple fact that you have to look at the dynamic of things. When things are happening overnight, it seems, then you can either two ways. You go to the dark side or the light side, and obviously I'm on the light side because that's the right side. So that's basically it. I have to give all the praise and honor and glory to God for definitely putting me back to where you guys can see me and be entertained. So I thank you, Instagram and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Just for providing the outlet to be able to show people who I really am and be accepted as an artist and the man that I am in society today.
Okay. Well, you're showing me now in this interview that you're a really conscious brother. So I have a question to you that I like to ask certain people, and I feel like you're one of those people I should ask this question to. Me being a black person, you being a black person, I realize in the black community, people don't really focus on mental health. And I watched a Vlad video where I want to get into where you were talking about having a little kid march where you have all the kids walk down and whatnot, and that was great. And I was wondering, do you think that we should have black leaders to, I guess, advocate and bring problems and bring the problems up to front on basically showing, because like there's no other race in America where at 12 years old people at 12 years old can lose their five of their best friends from a murder, from a homicide, and they have to see three of those murders and homicide, and that's trauma. And then you have to, as a black man, have to get over that because you know you don't want to be sad, depressed, because then people gonna call you soft and pussy and all that stuff right there. So I feel like people undermines mental health, and I feel like we need to.
Well, it has nothing to do with mental health. It has everything to do with if we were to simply come together as one race, which is the human race, then color disappears.
Mm.
So we have to think about these situations and we have to portray them in the way of the movie A Time to Kill. You know, when at the end of the movie, when Matthew McConaughey does say, "Hey, you know, well, I want you to imagine this little girl, and she's beaten, she's raped, you know, she's ripped to shreds by these two horrible men, and I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine that she is white." That part is what people don't think is all right. That part is essential to the game of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because of the simple fact that when you take a race and you know make, you know, I mean, I don't want to hear shit about black people. You want to know why? Because of the simple fact that yeah, I'm black and all, but the most forgotten about and mistreated race would be, well, not even race, but I'll say a group of people would be the elderly and the disabled. So you know, we're forgetting that America is one of the most arrogant countries in the world. And you know, we don't even believe there's any more insects out there. We don't even want to believe there's any extraterrestrial beings, you know, which is what John F. Kennedy was going to reveal before they shot him, along with, you know, a lot of the people that died who were celebrities, and you know, he was going to reveal the fact that the CIA was against them and was behind a lot of the murders, and also he was going to reveal the fact that, you know, he had found a way for the American people not to pay taxes on the American dollar. So my main thing is, you know, that was a white man that did all of this, you know, and his bodyguard was a black man that got to eat lunch with him. You know, so you know, when they take the greats, you have to understand why and what was on the plate of the man that thought to take this into consideration. You know, killing someone great that was going to further the universe and not just the country but the universe, and teach us all different ways of how to, you know, collect our currency and be able to protect our country's currency, you know, to where we could definitely save money and also tell the truth about, you know, extraterrestrial beings being real and things of that nature. No one wants to believe that all these movies that are coming out are nothing but hints. But when I say we are in the Truman Show, we are truly in the Truman Show, and I'll leave it at that.
Well, can you further explain where you say that we forget about the disabled and elderly? What makes you say that?
Because we do. It's people getting smothered in old folks' homes right now. And, you know, you walk past the retarded person that you think is retarded, you know, but you don't give them the benefit of the doubt of being mentally challenged, because they're smarter than you and I. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, you know, it's you know, that's what we have to look at. The people that we walk by and actually have nothing to say to, you know, or the veterans that have went to war and got their legs blown off but end up coming home to stand outside on the corner or sit in a wheelchair on a corner watching the days go by. Every single day goes by, and he can tell you exactly what car is going to go where and what color car is going to pull up at what time. But he's sitting there as the world is passing him by. That's what I'm talking about. You know, just the logic in life. Period.
Okay. Well, I think that's a perfect transition to because I kind of want you to get this message out about your march about the kids. How did you explain that? Because I feel like that's a very important
Well, yeah,
thing.
the Million Kid March is definitely aimed towards raising $10 million for me to go ahead and donate $1 million if needed to each and every one of the 10 all over the world children's hospitals that will be participating and right now it's just all about making sure that we take that march and raise that money when we go from Wilshire to Hollywood Boulevard. There will be all kinds of stuff. I got giraffes and a zoo for them and all that cool stuff. We got food trucks. We got Game's mom going to do the catering because she can cook her butt off and all that good stuff. Soul food and all that cool stuff. I don't want to do anything other than that. And we'll be reaching out to a lot more other people to make sure that the kids have, like I said, the video games. I want an ice cream truck out there. I want clowns. I want, and also the artists of Youngstar Entertainment. You know what I mean? Gonna get down on stage. So we're gonna make sure that everybody is satisfied and walk away with Youngstar clothing. Got some hoodies and all kinds of stuff for the girls. Leggings and all that. All that great stuff. But they'll be walking away with the album and all that good stuff that they're supposed to be walking away with. But at the end of the day, I intend on going into these different rooms like I do when I normally go to do the Make a Wish Foundation whole little spiel. It's like we go in there and we listen to these parents and we watch them cry and weep as they watch us make their child smile when we walk into a room. And it's kind of like kryptonite. You go back to the car and you do nothing but cry. Because you feel like you can't help. But I'm not that kind of person, so therefore that's what this is, aimed at. It's for the kids that definitely have this sickle cell, have AIDS at an early age, that have been mauled by pit bulls, and at 3 years old because of the irresponsibility of parents and things of that nature. We want to make sure that instead of them paying for nothing but tissue and can't afford the medicine, we want to go into these rooms and find out exactly what figure would be sufficient enough for us to leave them in order for us not to just come to their establishment and smile and give them a big old oversized check like the game is done. No, that's not how we do things. We have to definitely see through and go all the way through with what's in our hearts. And I really take from one of my good friends, Mike, who also left me. It's just we have to make sure that we definitely we try to heal the world a little bit by little bit. And from there, I think we'll be cool. But this is one of the good steps. And definitely letting the kids around the world that are sick that we got you back, and no more getting false treatment because you ain't got no Rex.
Okay. Well, on to a little bit more positive note. Let's talk about your music, man. The first time I've heard one of your new songs was "Fuck My Fame," and I seen it was by you, and I was like, "Is he rapping?" I was like, "Let me hear this," because I'm thinking it's probably gonna be okay. But I'm here, and you snapping, man. You really snapping that song. And I looked at the video too. And I was wondering what was the exact concept behind the video. I see you digging in trash cans.
The concept was what I was going through. That's exactly what you seen was all true story. It says based on a true story. So therefore it's like I definitely wanted to focus on giving the world the unheard of, the unseen, and the unbelievable, and the fact that Eddie was homeless at one time. The fact that I did ruin some relationships that didn't have to be ruined based off of the fact that I just didn't know. I wasn't deliberately trying to ruin them, but that's what happens when we're young. So therefore, when we have, like I said, our frontal lobe equally balanced, and you're able to identify with your own problems, and you can look in the fucking mirror and be happy. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I stand for. I stand for the ones that have had the doors closed in their face and have been told no over 1 million times, and that you'll never do it, and fuck that, and fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But then that's what you say when you're in the wrong state of mind. But when you're mentally, you're mentally balanced, and that frontal lobe that I keep talking about, it's more like you got to realize, you got to learn to say God bless them. So therefore, they understand that there's no harm or no